Hello and welcome to this installment of the Homeowner Education Series brought to you by Sell My House Inc. This is Jim Cremella with Sell My House Inc. and today's topic is the one that everybody in this world probably needs to be watching, because at some point in time in your lives, I know in my life it happened twice already and I'm a young guy, but we've fallen into it, and that is, how do I pay off my debt without filing bankruptcy? And if I'm not a $1,000,000,000 company, I can't get a government bailout. So how do I do this? Okay? And bottom line is, it's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take some discipline, but everyone can do it. All right? What I want you to do is, first step is to gather up all of your bills. Most people know they've got a lot of debt, but they've never actually added up how much debt they're in. Okay? You need to figure that out. That's the first thing. Take all of your credit cards. Take your house if you have a house payment. Take your the car payments, student loans, personal loans, whatever. If you owe somebody or some company money, go pause this video right now, go and get all of those bills, okay? When you have all of those bills, what I want you to do is write down the outstanding balance on each one of them and how much the interest rate is on each one of them, okay? Once you have that all done on a list, all you got to do is say, oh geez, I don't know, Citigroup and 15%, then Capital One 28%, and go down by all of your creditors and all of the interest rates and all of your outstanding balance. Okay? If you're good with computers, I would say an Excel spreadsheet would be good. If you're not, like my wife isn't, go ahead and write it just down on a piece of paper. How you want to rank these is, once you've got them all down on a scratch sheet of paper, go ahead and rank them with the highest interest rate first. Not highest balance, highest interest rate first, okay? Now, you should have a list at this point, a spreadsheet where it's got creditors here, the outstanding balance, and then you've got the interest rates from what you charge or what is charged on them, highest to lowest, okay? Now, once you're in this form, write down on the column next to the interest rate, write down the minimum payment for each in one column and what you actually pay every month on the other one, okay? Now, most people, they're different. Most people think if the minimum payment's $150, if I pay $200 a month on each card, you know, I'm really making some headway, I'm going to save myself a lot of interest. Well, this is really where we get into the meat and potatoes of this. It's a very simple system. Some people call it the waterfall system, whatever technique. It's pretty basic and it's common sense if you think about it, okay? What I want you to do is calculate all of your minimum payments on all of those cards, and once you have that figured out, add up all the payments that you send to what you actually send them, okay? And I want you to subtract the two numbers, okay? Once you have that difference, let's say your minimum payments come out to be $800 a month and you spend $1,400 a month in your bills. That's how much you spend on them, okay? What you do is you make sure that you're paying your minimum payments on all of the cards, but all of the extra money from all the cards that you spend, combine all those extra payments and put them towards the card or whatever creditor you owe the most interest to. So if you owe a credit card that's got 10 grand or 3 grand on it, but it's at 29%, that's the card I want you to pay off first. I want you to make sure you're paying your minimum payments for all your creditors, but anything additional you would pay, focus that. And this goes for your mortgage too. If your mortgage is $1,200 a month and you give it $1,600 a month, not for right now, you're not, okay? What I want you to do is pay that minimum payment to make sure everything stays current, but take all of your extra cash that you spend on all of your other debt and put it towards the one with the highest interest rate. And you keep doing that every single month till that one's gone, okay? Once that one's gone, then you roll all of that money into the next one, the next highest interest rate, okay? So you take, let's say the next highest interest rate was 22%, you paid $100 a month on that one as your minimum payment, and now you're going to take the 6, 7, whatever it is, money that you took to pay off the highest one, and you add it to it, okay? And you do that on every single card, every single creditor. Normally, your mortgage is going to be the one with the lowest interest rate, so that's when you're going to attack less. For people that have done this, they have been made completely and utterly debt-free within 5 to 7 years, including their mortgage. Okay, that's pretty powerful stuff, and it's simple. All right. Now here's the discipline part. You really have to look at where you spend your money. For me and my wife, our problem was going out to eat. Simple stuff, you know. Who thinks, let's go out to eat and I don't feel like cooking? Well, you do that 3-4 nights a week, things start to add up. We've spent upwards of like $2,000 a month just on food. And we don't have anything to show for it. We just did it on food. So really analyze what you spend your money on. If you can figure out, let's not eat out as much. Now, right now, my wife and I, we eat out once a week. We eat out once a week. We go see a movie. That's our date night. Okay? Try and get yourself on a regiment like that. If you can pick up part-time work to make more money to help add on to that, that will help. You know, these are all simple techniques that you can do, but most people don't spell them out like this. Okay? As far as that goes, that's really it. You know, if you follow the waterfall principle, if you're disciplined, you make sure you don't spend too much money every month on the stuff that's not necessities. You know, sacrifice a little bit. You'll get out of debt in a lot quicker time than you'll ever imagine. And then imagine how much extra money you'll have. Now, word of advice, once you pay off these credit cards, don't just cut them up and never use them again or close them, okay? Make sure that you want to have about 3 or 4 credit cards, not 8, but 3 or 4 credit cards, and you want to keep the ones that have been open the longest. The longer the credit history, the more points. If you pay off all your debt, you cut up all your credit cards, and you start from scratch, that's what you're doing. You're starting from scratch. You have no credit, and you have to rebuild from scratch. Keep 4-ish credit cards open. Make sure, try and negotiate the interest rates down if you can, but keep the ones with the longest history. Okay. Now, if you've got 3 with really long history and 1 that hasn't been open that long, but the interest rate's really good, fine. Keep that one. But make sure you keep the longest history too. And once you're paid off on all of these, you still want to use these cards like once a month and pay them off once a month. Get groceries on one. Get gas on another. Go to dinner with whoever on one. Okay? You want to use them once a month, because if you don't use them, they're not active. They're not adding to your credit history. All right? Make sure you use them restrictively. You don't want to go crazy with them. Make sure you're only charging what you can afford to pay off. The little trick that I use is every time I use my credit card, I actually take whatever I charged on the credit card out of my bank account, as far as on my ledger, on my checkbook or whatever. I take it out of there. That way when the bill comes at the end of the month, it's in my head, it's already gone, so it's no problem paying it. Okay? So that's a little trick. All right, that's pretty much it. If you have further questions on this, or you want me to run through it again, or details, or whatever, I do it for free. I'm just really here to help as many people as I can. Go to sellmyhouseinc.com, click on the Contact Us page, and fill out one of those forms, reference what you're asking me about, and one of us will get back to you just as soon as we can. Okay? I hope this has helped. I hope you get a little bit of insight from this, and I hope in some way it's helped you be able to get out of debt finally. All right? This is Jim Cremella for Sell My House Inc. Have a great one, and signing off.